Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I have got a really exciting day in store for me today because I am driving all the way across the country to pick up something that I've wanted in this garden for a very long time, a SkyShed Pod Observatory. So join me in this video while I take you along for the journey. So, like I said, today I'm going to be picking up a hire van from Cirencester, driving all the way across the country to Northumberland to pick up a SkyShed Pod Observatory. Now, I've wanted an observatory for quite some time to go in this back part of the garden that you can see behind me. So this part of the garden is kind of hidden away at the back. It doesn't get much use at all, and it's a perfect spot for an observatory. And as you can see, that's where I have my telescope. That's where I have my mount set up at the moment. So I've wanted an observatory for quite some time. About a year ago we did some gardening and I put in some power cables and some Ethernet cables out, buried them out to the back of the garden because I knew I was going to be doing this at some stage. Now, I had been looking at building my own roll-off roof observatory, but I saw this SkyShed Pod come up on Astro Buy and Sell, and I spoke to the seller and I think I've got it for an absolutely amazing price. In fact, I think this is going to be the cheapest SkyShed Pod in the UK. So I'm going over there, I'm going to pick it up for £800. Let me know if any of you have ever seen one cheaper. There are currently two more on sale in the UK at the moment. One's for about £2,000, which is in Scotland or North Scotland, and the other is for £1,500. So I think £800 is an absolute bargain. So I'm really excited to pick up the van and get up there. I'm going to be meeting a good friend of mine, Ollie Barrett, on the way. You might remember him from a collaboration video that we did a few weeks back. He's going to be helping me load the SkyShed Pod into the van. Might even do some driving as well, which is great of him. So yeah, I'll take you along on the adventure, and hopefully at the end of the video I'll have an observatory to show you. Okay, so I've just parked and now I'm walking to Enterprise to try and pick up my van. I'm a little bit nervous because it's a Luton van and I've never driven anything that big before, so fingers crossed it all goes okay. But I'll show you just how big that van is when I get there. Okay, so I've met up with Ollie and he has very kindly agreed to do the driving up for the next leg. I've driven about 5 hours up to Ollie's and we've got about an hour and a half, 2 hours to go, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, just under 2 hours, yeah.
Yeah, just under 2 hours. So it's been a long day in the car, but hopefully we'll get there soon and pick up the SkyShed Pod. Looking forward to seeing it. Okay, so after 5 hours of driving in 35-degree heat with no air conditioning, I didn't really feel like recording too much on this last leg of the trip, but it was really nice to sit back and just take in some of the absolutely stunning scenery of the North York Moors. This really is a beautiful part of the UK. But we did eventually get to Derek's house, and as you can see here, my observatory was waiting outside ready to be loaded in the van. Derek also showed us a quick peek of his new Pulsar observatory shed, which I can say I'm a little bit jealous of. So I'm back with the observatory, which is currently in the garage. I managed to unload it okay with the help of one of my neighbours, and I've dropped the van back off with Enterprise. Now, I had the van for just over 24 hours, 16 of which I think were driving, so an incredibly long journey, incredibly tiring, especially when it was 35-36 degrees and there was no air conditioning. So I can't thank you enough, Ollie, for taking that latest stint, that 4 hours from your place up and back. I do really appreciate it. It was nice to have a break. It was also great to be able to stay over at Ollie's, broke the journey up a little bit. And amazingly, I've also come back with this additional gift, which I absolutely love. So Paula, Ollie's wife, has made me this t-shirt. So I don't know how well you can see that, Russell's Astrophotography, but it's absolutely amazing. The embroidery on this is just so detailed. It's just absolutely fantastic. I just love it. So thank you so much for that, Paula. That is so nice of you. Yeah, I really do appreciate that. So yeah, keep an eye out. I'll be wearing this in some of my videos moving forward. But the observatory is back. Thanks for everyone who was involved. It was great to meet you, Derek, and to see your new observatory. Thanks again to Ollie for driving. That was such a massive help. If you guys want to say thank you to Ollie, make sure you check out his Astro bin. He has some absolutely fantastic images on there. So the next step now is to build a patio. We're planning to build a little patio at the back of the garden, and that's where the dome is going to sit. So I'm going to order a few bits and hopefully they arrive soon. So I'll bring the camera back out when they've arrived. Okay, so here you can see some of the materials being delivered for the patio build from B&Q. We just went really basic, some of the cheapest materials we could find in order to build that patio in the back garden. This was all left on the front drive, so I had to carry it all through in order for it to be in the back garden ready for the build the next weekend. And as you can see, it was a very bright, very hot day, so this was quite hard work. But eventually I had all of the materials through in the back garden ready for the build. But the next weekend I was really lucky that my sister Lydia, my brother-in-law Sam, brought their family up and we were all in the garden together building this patio. So Sam, Lydia were absolutely amazing. My two nieces, Eleanor and Isabel, also helped out where they could, which was great fun. And we eventually got this patio built and we got the SkyShed pod on top and built in place. So I can't wait to use it. Okay, so the dome is in, it's set up, and as you can see, the roof opens, closes and rotates, and I can't wait to make use of this in the garden. So I've still got a few little touches that I want to do. You might have noticed the door is slightly warped, so I have to mend the door. I also have to put in a couple more seals around the corner here, because there is a tiny little bit of water getting in during heavy rain, which we've had quite a bit of this past couple of weeks. So we've gone from mid 30 degrees when I went to pick up the dome and when we were laying the patio to just a couple of weeks of relentless rain. So I'm glad the dome is in. I can't wait to get it weather sealed and to actually get some gear moved into here. So the plan is to have the Ioptron SEM 60 sitting in here permanently with one telescope on, probably the edge, and I think that will just stay in here as a permanent setup. And then I have another mount which I can move around the garden for other targets with the wide field scope. So really can't wait to get it all set up, and I can't wait to show you some videos from this dome very soon when I capture some first light from my new observatory. But thank you very much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Please hit that like button if you have enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you have a cheaper SkyShed pod. Did you manage to find one cheaper than £800? Thanks again for everyone involved in getting this dome set up. Thanks to Ollie for helping pick up the dome. Thank you so much to my sister Lydia, Sam and her family for coming up and helping build and lay this patio. Again, really do appreciate all your help. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.